Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. And happy WrestleMania week to all of you out there in the YWC. It's going to be a good week for WWE, like it is every year. Tonight we had Raw, which was the go-home show for WrestleMania Sunday. Tomorrow is SmackDown, which is their go-home show for WrestleMania. Also going to have the final match in the Mixed Match Challenge. Then Wednesday we have NXT, which that is going to be the go-home show for NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Friday is the Hall of Fame. Saturday is NXT TakeOver New Orleans. And of course Sunday is the big day, WrestleMania. And really looking forward to it. But tonight's Raw was held from the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And of course, like I said, this was Raw's go-home show for WrestleMania. And my honest thoughts on tonight's Raw, this Raw, the Raw before WrestleMania is, it gets you hyped up, looking forward to the show on Sunday. And I gotta say, tonight's Raw, it wasn't that good of a show. I thought it wasn't that good also of a go-home show. It didn't deliver like any hype for it. You had one match tonight, which I thought was match of the night, which I thought was really good. So, but all in all, just Raw wasn't that good. And it wasn't that good of a go-home show. And the show opened up tonight with Jonathan Coachman in the ring. This was the face-off between Stephanie and Triple H and Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle actually botched and said at a point in this segment he went Ronda Rowdy. So Kurt ended up botching. Again, I've been witnessing, Kurt, botching some stuff. But Triple H says Ronda's Raw will be silenced at WrestleMania Sunday. Triple H says to Kurt that he sent Ronda up for an embarrassment at WrestleMania. Ronda ends up saying to Triple H why they both signed her, which she goes on to say, oh, why the both of you were two-faced to sign her. And Stephanie says, she's going to rebuild Ronda's career after Ronda's loss at WrestleMania on Sunday. Stephanie says to Ronda, they bought her to WWE because it was best for business. And Kurt ends up saying this Sunday at WrestleMania, Ronda is going to make Stephanie tap out. And Triple H says to Kurt that, Ronda is going to lose at WrestleMania because she doesn't know what goes on, in a WWE ring, because she's never had a wrestling match, and we won't, see she's going to be decent or good, in the ring until Sunday. And Stephanie says to Ronda that Ronda chose this path and that she's going to lose the match at Mania. And Stephanie ends up taking jabs at the losses that Ronda Rousey had. And Ronda ends up striking back at Stephanie and saying, oh, are you left or right-handed? Stephanie says she's right-handed. And Ronda says to Stephanie, oh, I just wanted to know so you can sign my checks after I rip your arm, after I rip it. And Jonathan Coachman then ends up bringing photo ops into the ring to take pictures of Stephanie and Triple H and Ronda and Kurt. And we just see Kurt Angle and Triple H, they're looking at each other face to face. Stephanie wants Ronda to shake her hand, but Ronda ends up declining it. Then Stephanie was trying to move, but Ronda ended up blocking Stephanie from getting out. Triple H then comes and hits Kurt in the back with the mic. and that led to Ronda getting her hands on Triple H, and then Stephanie ended up putting Ronda through the table, which I gotta admit, it looked freaking terrible. It looked like shit. But so yeah, that pretty much ended the segment, and I say it wasn't that great of a segment. I thought it was pretty boring. Absolutely no hype for this match at WrestleMania on Sunday. That's in my opinion. And then we had the first match of the night, Bayley versus Sonya Deville. Typical women's match. Wasn't that great of a match in my opinion. Bayley got the win with the roll-up on Sonya to score the win. Then you had after the match, Mandy Rose and Sonya ended up attacking Bayley. Sasha Banks ended up coming out and helped Bayley. And it was, both of them in the ring. They start to bicker back and forth. Bayley ends up attacking Sasha. They start going at it. Absolution ends up coming in and attacks, both Bayley and Sasha. They laid, both of them laid them both out. So, but all in all, the match itself wasn't that good of a match. Your typical women's match. And then you had after that, which I consider the match of the night tonight, the only best match tonight. You had it was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, and this was a good match. This was match of the night in my opinion. Miz was out on commentary through the match because they have the triple threat match at Mania where it's him versus Finn versus Seth, and in my opinion, this triple threat should have been a ladder match. In my opinion, to win, I have to say Finn Balor. Because, I have no thoughts on, Miz winning winning and retaining the Intercontinental title because, his baby girl was just born and, probably after WrestleMania, he wants to spend time with Maurice and the baby and his new baby girl. So, but yeah, Seth Rollins and Finn, they gave it all they got tonight. It was a good match. It was back and forth between them. These two had a good feud. When Rollins was heel, you all know their match from SummerSlam 2016. Their match for the Universal title, which Finn ended up winning, but Rollins injured him. And the next night on Raw, of course, Finn had to relinquish the Universal title. So, but it was a good match. Went for a good amount of time, and what was really weird is that they played a video package of Nakamura and Styles, and then it just went back to the match. And then like 10 minutes later in the match, it went to commercial. So that was really weird. But Seth Rollins won the match with the stomp on Balor, the curb stomp on Balor to score the win. So it was match of the night. It was a good match. It was the only good match tonight, in my opinion. Then after that match, we had Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle backstage. Kurt tells Heyman that the main event must stay intact at WrestleMania, and that for Heyman not to say anything that will trigger Roman, because Kurt is concerned about the safety of Lesnar tonight. And then you get Kurt say almost towards the end of the segment where he goes, "Everyone wants to see this match," and the fan in you was like, "No. We don't want to see this match because we all know what the outcome is going to be. Roman's going to be your new Universal Champion at WrestleMania. And that's going to send us fans, in an uproar, and especially the people in the Superdome in New Orleans. Watch, when Roman wins, that whole crowd in the Superdome is going to boo the hell out of him. It's going to boo the shit out of him. And then it's going to be a repeat of what happened last year. If you remember last year, the Raw after WrestleMania, when Roman came out with, after Roman beat The Undertaker, and he came out on Raw the next night, and the crowd just absolutely booed him because, he was trying to say something. He's trying to say something on the mic, but the crowd ended up booing him. That's going to be a repeat. I guarantee you. The next night on Raw after WrestleMania, next week on Raw, Roman Reigns is going to come out with a load of boos from that crowd, from the New Orleans crowd, and from the crowd that pretty much, from the people that were at WrestleMania are going to probably be at Raw. So expect Roman to be booed the hell out of the building, just what happened last year. So, because we all know Roman's winning. So, but nobody's looking forward to the match because we all know the outcome, like I said. And then after that, we had Cesaro and Sheamus come out, and they say, they don't care who Braun's tag team partner is because, it doesn't matter to them. Sheamus says, that Braun and his partner will never be a team, and that that him and his partner won't get to the Raw tag team titles, won't win it. Braun ends up coming out, says that he has to have a partner, and that he's got one. And he wants a match with either Cesaro or Sheamus. Sheamus then, approves of it. And, Braun Strowman goes to the back. And, Braun Strowman's music hits. And it's just Strowman. It's just Braun in the disguise saying, "Oh, I'm Braun's brother, Brains Strowman." And I'm like, it was funny though, but stupid at the same time. Because it was just Braun in disguise. And so he gets in the ring. And then, Braun then just comes in the ring and then just throws Cesaro and Sheamus around the ring. He tosses Cesaro really to the other side of the ring. So, and that pretty much ended the segment. I mean, but it was funny, with Strowman, going in disguise. But, it was funny and stupid at the same time, though. Not saying it was a good segment, or a great segment by any means. So that was that. And then we had Goldust cutting a promo saying, he's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And he says if he wins it, HBO has to make a documentary on him because he was referencing the, Andre the Giant and, the Andre the Giant documentary that's coming on HBO. And I think next week, I think it's next Tuesday it premieres. I might give that a watch because I'm interested in it. So if I do get a chance to watch it, I'll review it. So, but yeah, it was pretty much that. And then Matt Hardy cuts a promo about him saying, "Oh, I'm going to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal," and that everybody in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will be obsolete or deleted. And he says, to Goldust, tonight, Goldust is scheduled for deletion. And so that pretty much ended that promo. Then when Raw came back from commercial, it was Matt Hardy versus Goldust. Pretty much a nothing match, in my opinion. It was just back and forth between them. Matt Hardy got the win with the twist of fate on Goldust. Wasn't really that good of a match. Then we had John Cena coming out, saying he was wrong because there was no answer from The Undertaker. he says, he's not upset because he's done everything to get Taker to answer him and, challenge, ask for his request for a match. And Cena just says he's going to WrestleMania fired up, and he's just going to WrestleMania as a fan. Because he said he lost against Roman Reigns, he lost at Survivor Series, he lost at the Royal Rumble, he lost at Elimination Chamber, and he also lost at Fastlane. So, but he called out, Taker for a one last chance moment. That's the reason why he wanted to have this match with Undertaker at WrestleMania, because it's a last chance moment kind of match. So Cena ends up saying, that this WrestleMania could be the perfect time of change. And, he says again, he's going to WrestleMania as a fan and he's proud of it. And he apologizes about Taker of calling him out. And he tells, the Atlanta crowd to make some noise so Taker could hear, how they all want, how the crowd really wants, Taker to have this match with Cena. And, Cena says to Taker that, he's a dead man walking, and that, he left his hat and stuff in the ring, and he left his balls at home. So that was pretty much a jab right there. But But we all know probably that Taker's going to show up at WrestleMania. I think WWE is holding off for Taker to be at WrestleMania. He could come out with the the American Badass gimmick, which it's rumored though. Taker is going to be the American Badass, like he was in 2000 around there. Which to me, I kind of like that gimmick. I kind of like that gimmick back in the day when he was the American Badass. I know a lot of people didn't, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool. How he's coming out with the motorcycle. I really like that. I really liked his American Badass gimmick. But since Kid Rock is going in the Hall of Fame, that maybe they could maybe they could do something at WrestleMania, have like a performance or something. But so yeah, that was that segment. I mean, it was okay segment with John Cena. And then we had Kurt Angle is with Roman Reigns, saying to him, everything must go smoothly with him tonight, with him, Lesnar, and Heyman. And, Roman says, he's tired of hearing Heyman. And pretty much, he's just basically talking about, that. Basically just talking about, Lesnar and Heyman. And then he walks off. Okay segment. And then we had Elias. Boring shit with him. Elias is out saying he wishes he bypassed Atlanta and go to a city that matters. And he goes on to say that at WrestleMania he's got a good performance for everyone. It was fucking boring. Then we had Elias versus Heath Slater, which was shit. Which was a shitty match. Elias ended up getting the win with the drift away. So, shit match. Then we had Kurt Hawkins approached Braun Strowman. You all know how this is going to go. Kurt Hawkins approaches him and says to Braun that that he wants to be his partner at WrestleMania, and for him he wants Braun to give him his big break. And Braun's like, "Oh, you got a losing streak." So then that's when Kurt Hawkins said, me being your partner, it could give me a break. And then Braun ends up taking Hawkins, throwing him right through the wall, and Strowman says, "That's your break." And then that pretty much was the backstage segment. But it was funny though. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And then after that we had Renee Young. She had to sit down with Nia, just talking about her heading into her match with Alexa at WrestleMania. And Nia says at WrestleMania she's going to squash Alexa like a bug. And pretty much that was basically the whole sit down. Basically they talk about she just talks about making how not to make fun and everything. It was pretty much basically that. Didn't really care for it though. But yeah, look at it's the match is for, of course, the Raw Women's title. So I mean, Nia, I would like to see Nia win the Raw Women's title. I think she really deserves it. So because Alexa hasn't done nothing with the Raw Women's title since Elimination Chamber, and before Elimination Chamber, she only defended the title in October of last year. So Alexa hasn't really done nothing with the Raw Women's title since since going into Elimination Chamber. That was the last time the title was defended. So, and then we had Asuka and Dana Brooke versus Alexa and Mickie. This was another typical women's match. It's pretty boring, in my opinion. But Asuka and Dana Brooke got the win. You had Asuka applying the Asuka lock on Mickie James. Then you had, after the match, Alexa and Mickie take out Asuka and Dana. And Nia ends up coming in and gives a Samoan drop to Mickie James. You had Alexa run out of the ring. So, all the match itself, it was a typical women's match. Pretty boring, in my opinion. Then you had Paul Heyman came out with Brock Lesnar. You had the guys come out to to try to protect Roman from going into the ring. I mean, you had Titus O'Neil out there. You had the Revival, Gallows and Anderson, Miz Taraj, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, all there, guarding Brock Lesnar. And Heyman says the only person who has victories against the Undertaker, which was both Lesnar and Roman, they will both collide at WrestleMania for the Universal title on Sunday. He says Lesnar will pin Roman at WrestleMania. And he goes on to say if Roman wins, it will be the last time we see Lesnar and Heyman on Raw. And Heyman goes on to say that no one in that locker room has any shot against Lesnar or to take his his Universal title. And he goes on to say this Sunday, Roman's only choice is to accept defeat. And he says to Roman that, he's just Lesnar's bitch. Then Roman ends up coming out, and, the guys on the stage, trying to block him from getting into the ring. So he comes out and he says, to the guys there, why are they, he says, why are you guys protecting a part-time bastard? And so the guys there, Roman ends up saying something to them, and then the guys just make a path, and Roman ends up coming down to the ring. He gets in the ring. He has a stare at Lesnar. Lesnar ends up getting out of the ring, and he gets a chair, like what we saw, last week and the following week. So he gets a chair. He goes to hit it for Roman. Roman ends up hitting 4 Superman punches to Lesnar to keep Lesnar down. By the last Superman punch, Lesnar was down. Roman ended up picking up the Universal title, holding it up, looking at the WrestleMania sign. And then we just see Lesnar getting up out of nowhere, and he F5s Roman, and then gets out of the ring. And so that pretty much that ended Raw for the night for tonight. But so yeah, so pretty much the segment I thought was okay. I mean, like I said, everybody knows the outcome of this match. We all know Roman is winning. So, and Roman once again, like last year, is going to get booed by the WWE crowd once again, just like last year. And it's going to be pretty horrible for Roman. Oh boy, that crowd is going to be ruckus when that happens. And yeah, so anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow night for my SmackDown review and also the Mixed Match Challenge review. So, till that video, I'll see you all here tomorrow night.